I'm making a little video right now on how to install the servo feeds that I'm selling with a kit. They're made for the servos. These are the KSTs 245Hs, and they are the DLG servos that have the screws in this direction, so you just, when you put them inside the wing, you just drop them in and bolt them down. So it's pretty simple. The idea of this feed are that if the servo goes bad, you can just take the two screws out, servo comes out, put another one in, screw it back in, connect it, and you're done. What I like to do with this servos, I like to take an extension cord and feed it through and just leave the very end of it here. So if I have to remove a servo, all I'm doing is assuming this is going to be the wing, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this window from the covering. I'm going to take the two screws out, remove the servo, put another one in, put the screws back in, and plug the servo in, and all I have to do is just cover this little window. Relatively easy fix. You can do it at home, on a flying field if you want to do it on a flying field. It's just a built-in redundancy to make your flying experience more enjoyable. One thing that happened to me a while ago is when I did the prototype plane, I glued the servo in here, and because this wood is so thin, when the servo went bad and I tried to replace it and I tried to yank it out of there, well, I had a very hard time taking it off, and after that I said, well, I want to have a easy way to remove the servo, replace it if I have to. And because it's a beginner DLG, it's a heavier DLG, you are likely to abuse the servos maybe a little bit more than you would like to otherwise, because it's heavier, more inertia, it hits more. First thing I did for the servo, I just put the screw in, bolt it all the way. I don't want this servo arm to stay in that direction or this direction. So to put the servo inside is relatively easy. What I'm doing, take a little bit of packing tape, seems to be big enough. I'm just cutting it to size. You want to be a little bit longer than the servo itself. You don't want to be too short. What I mean by that is just you want it to extend this way and back a little bit, so you don't glue the servo in. And the packing tape is gonna serve as a release agent, and if you can see, packing tape stops to about here. That's what I'm trying to do. And I guess I'm gonna take a little piece of balsa and try to get it as neat as possible around the servo. Push it against the tab like that. You can cut the excess if you really want to. It's necessary, not really. Just using it for a masking tape. I'm gonna take the screwdriver and try to poke a hole. If that doesn't work, you can always use a pencil. Just want to have a way to get the servo arm, the screws through, right? And I'm going to take this out of here. Let's hope I'm not going to lose the screws. There you go. And these servo arms, they go in this direction like that. So I'm just going to put a servo arm in. And if my eyesight decides to cooperate with me, I may even get a screw in on the first shot. And sometime today, here we go. What I'm doing, I'm just bolting it down. There's one of them. By the way, these screws are 080s. What I found out in the past is that sometimes the arm is not clearing this area, so especially when you reach a maximum travel of the servo, and if you trim it down a little bit on this side only, that's all you need, and you should be fine. Okay, now gluing is pretty straightforward. What I like to use is use this 5-minute. Can be anything really. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever minutes you want to pick. Pick something and use it, I guess. And the trick with mixing epoxy is that once you think you have it mixed up, mix it some more. Okay. I'm gonna put epoxy in place. Oops. I'm gonna drop it in. Right now I want to make sure that I have a nice footprint of epoxy. I'm looking over there, I see a good amount of epoxy. And now I'm going back in here. You know what I'm trying to do now? I'm looking at the blade and I'm trying to look straight down on it and make sure the blade is centered into the channel. Yeah, and if anything, you could just move it sideways a little bit. Like that. And that's about it. If you want to, you can put a little bit of pressure on it to make sure it doesn't move. Just want to put a little piece on top of it. I'm just going to let it dry like that.